Everybody, second try. Going live today with one of my spiritual hypnosis training students, Christy, who is absolutely amazing because she literally went through the course within, I think, 1.5 months instead of 3. She's already practicing, she's already offering her sessions, so you can also connect with her if you want to receive a session. And she also received a soul activation, literally the first time she did a hypnosis induction. But we're inviting her now to tell us all about that. So let's see. She requested, and hopefully this time the microphone works. and I accepted. What is this Instagram? What are you doing? Okay, let me accept. There we are. Okay, now I can hear you.
You can? Oh,
Yes.
that was weird. Okay, good. Because it's so much easier with my headphones. I'm sitting outside, so I wanted to be able to hear you really well too.
Yeah,
Hi.
it'll work out. Hi, how are you?
Good. I miss you. I get to see you today and tomorrow, so I'm excited.
Beautiful. I miss you too. Okay, so tell us the first time you did a hypnosis induction. How was that for you, and what did that cause for you after?
Yeah, so I was really excited, I feel like, to share that with you, especially because, so actually, let me restart here. When I first did my first ever induction, it was actually in one of our training courses. And I did not know that you were going to put me on the spot that day and have me do it, which actually I was really happy that you did, because I feel like it challenged me and it pushed me out of my comfort zone, right? Because all of that fear came up. I felt like I wasn't going to be able to do it. Um, but yeah, I took the leap. I listened to what you said. I went back to kind of everything that I learned in the course. And to my surprise, like it came so naturally and it felt so incredible. And I told you after that session, that little mini session that I led, that I actually felt like this like soul activation. So prior to starting, I was nervous, but once I started doing the induction with our group that we had, I felt like this like calm and this like peace come over me. And it just felt so, like I said, so natural, so easy, so free. But it was actually the after effect that I couldn't believe. After it was over, I almost felt like this like shaky tingliness, and it lasted for like a good like solid 24 hours, which was really crazy. So it was just like this like energy that I could feel moving through me is the only way that I can really use to describe it. And it was really, really cool, really beautiful.
And
It still happens to me, just not as intensely as it did that very first time.
oh, I love that. Yeah, so that was going to be my next question. Like, how is that now? Like, when you're performing hypnosis on people, like, how is that now? Like, does it still affect you that way? Does it still activate you the same way? Do you still feel like, oh my God, this is what I need to be doing?
Yeah, definitely, which is why I absolutely love doing it so much. And with some of the clients that I've worked with recently, like I actually tell them afterwards, I love that they get to experience something so beautiful, but for me, it is equally as fulfilling. I actually feel like when I'm leading these sessions, first of all, I'm tapping into like my creativity and like my soul and everything, but I actually feel like I'm able to kind of like be in that present moment with them as well, which is really, really cool. So sometimes I actually like am visualizing them in the hypnosis and what they're doing as I'm, guiding them and stuff. So that's been really, really cool to experience as well.
I love that you said that because you really said, like, I'm in the present moment. And this is what hypnosis gives us too. I feel like it gives us just a chance to be present with our clients, but also with ourselves. Like, we really have to be present for our clients in order to do, like, to give our best, to give the best session. And I think that's really when fulfillment comes in, because whenever you're present in life, like with anything that you love, right? Whenever you're present, when you're drawing, when you're singing, when you're dancing, you're fulfilled and you're happy. And so that's actually something that I just realized that hypnosis gives us as well. That's why it's probably so fulfilling. That's one part, at least.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's what I have recognized. I tend to go through my days just very quickly, always speeding through everything, trying to get to the next thing. Also not feeling like, I'm ever doing enough in my days, and I become more aware of that. So I think this is why I love this practice so much. It actually just helps me to slow down, and I'm connecting with myself as well as connecting with the client. And it's just, yeah, it's been a really incredible experience, and I absolutely love it.
Oh, I love it. So tell us what else you love about hypnosis and practicing hypnosis with your clients.
Probably my favorite thing is just like I said, being able to hold space for them, but then also just kind of getting creative with the sessions and learning about, you know, the things that they want to be able to uncover during, you know, their journey with me. And most of the time, most of my clients have been very open to sharing afterwards, and that's also a really beautiful part, I feel like, of the process, is knowing too when they share like their testimonials and stuff with me that, you know, I've been able to impact their lives and make a difference. Because in my experience so far, and I know I'm still pretty new to this, but there hasn't been a client so far that hasn't experienced something, who hasn't heard some type of message that they really needed to hear, you know, in that moment or for that day in their life. And they're always just so grateful that they showed up for themselves and took the time to, do this with me. So
that is so beautiful and so impactful. So can you tell us some of the things that your clients came to you with that you have been able to help them with?
So for the most part, it's kind of the same as me so far. It's just been like a need to slow down, just to take a break from, you know, the stress and the anxiety of everyday life, and just take a moment to get centered. And to be honest, a lot of my clients have expressed that afterwards they just feel more connected to themselves, lighter, like lighter in their chest, lighter in their entire body, more relaxed, more focused when they have to go back to work afterwards, for example. They get better sleep. So those have been some of the outcomes that I've had so far that have been really positive.
I love it. That's so amazing. And what made you join the course? Like, how did you feel before the course? And that feeling, what was the feeling that you got when you were like, oh my God, I need to do this. I'm meant to be doing this. I'm meant to be learning this.
So I talk about this often. My thoughts were not in a very good place prior to, well, meeting you through our community that we're in, but then also starting to work with you. So last year, when I became pregnant again for the second time, I ended up having a mental health breakdown 6 months into my pregnancy with my daughter. And it was really then that I needed to start like shifting. I went on like a health and wellness journey, and I really started to work on like the internal things that I needed to heal within myself. But, you know, I tried like the traditional route, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but I seen a therapist, and I did like a lot of like talk therapy, and I found that like in the moment that really truly did help me. And I do still believe that it was really beneficial, but for some reason I'm recognizing more so now that it wasn't getting to like the root cause of the things that I really needed to work on. So again, in the moment it was helping me, but the after effects were not long lasting. And then I found you in our coaching community that we are a part of. And the first ever time that we did hypnosis in that community, that you led a session with all of us women, I feel like I just knew in that moment. It was after that session that I felt incredible. And then I just started to feel better and better. And then we did more sessions with you. And then I booked some one-on-ones with you. And it truly allowed me to just like release that grip that my thoughts had on me, and to start to see things in a different way. And I find that now, because I do practice hypnosis like on myself with you in our community, I'm becoming more aware of my thoughts and, you know, all of the patterns that are stored in my subconscious mind, and I'm able to really rewrite all of that, and just it's changed my reality, and it's changed my life for the better. And that's why I want to offer these services to other people, right? Like I want to be able to do that same thing for other people. I feel like that's why I was so inspired to join your course as well.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And I think something that you said was really great as well, because therapy helps and it's great, but then to really get that aha moment, that breakthrough, that impactful moment that you need so that you can continue to be good and to feel better. I think that's when hypnosis and working with your subconscious mind with any modality, really, with hypnosis or EFT or whatever it is that you're drawn to, becomes really the key to feel better in the long run. So thank you for mentioning that. And also, I'm so glad to have met you. I'm so glad that you joined the course, because you literally went through everything within what, like 1.5 months? And you're already
Yeah.
practicing. That's absolutely incredible. And so tell us a bit more about the, like, what in your life has improved? Like, when you're saying your thoughts have improved and when you're saying your life has improved, what exactly has improved? Like, tell us some situations that people can relate to that have improved.
So I feel like, and this is actually an example that I can use that just happened over the weekend, but I feel like since I've started doing this, I've just become braver. I trust myself way more, and I take action on the things in my life that I want to call in and to do for myself. So I've really been wanting to speak at an event for women, to tell my story and just to explain that, you know, if you begin to imperfectly create change in your life, there is so much that is possible, and you are able to embody the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. But thinking back to who I was, you know, prior to doing all this personal development work on myself, like, I don't think I would have ever been able to do that, something like that. I feel like my thoughts would have gotten in the way. But I went into that speech over the weekend feeling so confident. And yeah, I truly believe that a lot of that has to do with all of the work that I have done. And yeah, hypnosis is a really big part of that for me.
Amazing. I love that. Congrats on that. That is super
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you.
And what do you think, if there's anyone watching this who has any doubts about joining, or is like unsure about joining, or maybe is not brave enough to join, what would you tell them?
Well, thinking back to myself, so I began to recognize over the last like 3 years that I have like two different voices. So I have like that ego voice, right? That's all fear-based. It makes you feel a certain way that isn't always so pleasant. And then I actually am able to recognize too now that I have like this voice, and I call it like a voice of love. It's calm, it's reassuring. And whenever that voice shows up, I know it now. And that is the voice that showed up for me when I was trying to figure out if, you know, joining your course and doing this hypnosis training was the right fit for me. And as long as I truly continue to follow that voice, I feel like she never steers me wrong. It always leads me in the right direction. And truthfully, I've just been really focused lately on the fact that we honestly only have one life to live. And I know that that probably sounds like something we hear all the time. Oh, it's one life, but it's true. We only have one life to live. So it's just, to me, what do you want to do with it? And this was something that I wanted for myself. So like I said, I'm taking action on the things that I can create space for and that I know will make an impact and a difference in the world. So
I love that. And I love the difference that you're creating in the world. And
thank
Christy,
you.
right now, she's also offering sessions, and she's practicing right now. Really, you know, she can do past life regression, channeling, magic journey, soul work, everything that you learn in the spiritual hypnosis training. And right now, we're going to flip it. Christy's going to ask me some questions, so that you guys really get to know a bit more about what's in the training, about hypnosis, about anything else that she really wants to ask, because she also wants you out there to get clear about why hypnosis, like what is so powerful about it, like what does it look like, what does it feel like, what is it? So go ahead, Christy. I'll give it to
Yes,
you.
I love this. Well, and especially because, like I said, past version of me, especially when I first came into the community and we did a session with you, I was very skeptical. I was like, hypnosis? What is this? But again, until you experience it for yourself, you just don't, like, there's just a lot of people that don't understand it. It is very misunderstood. So I was hoping for anybody who's watching now or who's going to watch later, can you just briefly explain the process of a hypnosis session, just like the basics, as simply as you can?
Absolutely. So hypnosis is literally me guiding you into relaxation with my voice. It's nothing else. It's nothing that controls your mind. It's nothing that will let you tell me your biggest secrets. It's simply me guiding you into a space of relaxation, first your body, then your mind, so you can access your soul, so you can access the power that you have within, and that soul voice, that voice that comes from love. And you can bypass all the fear, all the thoughts, all the judgment, all the criticism that you usually have going on in your head. You bypass all that shit. And then when you're in that relaxed space of mind, when you have bypassed all of the analyzing, then you are in a space where you will hear from yourself, from love, which will ultimately lead you to more self-trust, more self-confidence, like Christy said, more bravery. It will lead you to really live the life that you want and to really go for it. And I think you're in a space of not wanting to do something, or in a space of being afraid to do something when you're not in hypnosis, when you're not in a relaxed state of mind. But then as soon as you get to the relaxed state of mind, you're like, oh, of course I can do it. It's not as hard as I think it would be, right? It's not as crazy. I'm actually capable.
Yeah. Awesome. So I also wanted to know your thoughts on if hypnosis can benefit children, and if you think it can, like, what would you recommend for like younger children as like a process to use in a session? Because I know maybe like a long like hour session wouldn't be beneficial for them, right? I don't even know if they could sit still for that long. I'm trying to think about like my son, right? So yeah, if it can benefit children, and if so, what would you recommend?
So there's two things I can say about that. First of all, relaxation benefits anyone. Like meditation, relaxation, hypnosis, that benefits anyone. And you can never have enough of that, I would say, just because you're in a space where you're bypassing, like I said, everything that you don't want to think about or analyze. So that can really help. So if you're being, and with children, it's important that you're being playful, that because children still are, they still have their subconscious mind open. And whenever we work in hypnosis, we work in a subconscious mind. And that means children are not infiltrated with whatever, we have learned as adults to be true or not true for us. Children still have that open mind, that imagination, that creative, just that creative mind. And because of that, when you are really creative with children, with stories already, not just hypnosis, but simply with stories, then it will really, really help them to get through and to overcome whatever it is that they're dealing with. And the older children become, the more, I think it's called inundated, they become with any beliefs or anything that their parents said, their friends have been saying, their teachers have been saying, and with their experiences that they've had. So it is very, very impactful also if you become older as a child, like if you're a teenager, for example. If you're a young child, you can, like I said, just be playful with it, and it can absolutely benefit because, like I said, relaxation benefits anyone.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I feel like it is too. It's almost like it's just so good for like your nervous system, right? And I feel like I've talked to a couple moms who did say that it definitely it has benefited their children when they've just done like, the body relaxation that we do after or in the beginning of the hypnosis session, when you really just like relax the body. Yeah, it really, really can help with their sleep. So I do know that. So that is something I've kind of been practicing with my son a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Not sure how it's working, but.
And another thing is too, when you do the body relaxation with the children, right? And when you get into their mind, maybe because sometimes children are afraid or children are not sure, maybe they cannot voice something, or they keep something for themselves, right? And so when you do the relaxation with children, and when you really make them feel safe, and when you really make them feel like they can trust themselves and their own voice that is coming up in their head, then this is also very beneficial for them, so that they can express themselves authentically and not hold back because they've been told by someone that they couldn't.
Yeah. See, I love that you brought that up too. And I think this is why I'm so happy that I have these tools now, because I know that my children are going to have their own experiences, and I don't ever want to try to control things in their life. But I'm just hoping that like these practices will be able to help them see that there's another side to what we see, societally. And yeah, just let them know, like you said, that they can just be their authentic selves. They don't have to pretend to be anybody for anybody else. Okay, another question. How can hypnosis relieve stress, anxiety, and depression? Because this is something that comes up often for me, questions that people have. So I was just wondering your answer to that one.
So anxiety is when we're thinking about the future. Depression is when we're usually thinking about the past. And stress is just also when we're literally thinking about the future of whatever, we cannot do, or it's like we have to do so much because we have to adhere to certain standard from society, whatever. So it's all just literally thinking about anything but the present moment. It's anything but listening to what the voice within you says. It's anything but listening to the voice when it says, hey, take a moment, slow down, relax, and listen to whatever it is that you need. We're not giving ourselves what we need enough because we think that we have to fulfill what everybody else needs, what society needs. And that is why things like depression, anxiety, and stress are so high in the society right now. And we have stopped taking the time for ourselves to listen to that inner voice that we have, to listen to love and not to listen to ego. We have stopped analyzing, we are constantly analyzing, criticizing, judging. We are constantly being inundated with things from social media, advertisements that are everywhere, with friends that we need to have dinner with or whatever. So there's constantly this input. There's less of output, there's less creation, there's less listening to love, but rather to fear and to ego. So what hypnosis does, it gets you out of that rat race. It gets you out of, you thinking that you need to do something, or you thinking that you're regretting something, or you're not enough, or whatever. It gets you out of that. And the more you do hypnosis, the more you relax, the more you will learn how to listen to that inner voice that is telling you to stop, that is telling you about what it is that you actually need and want, because most of the time we're not allowing ourselves to listen to what we actually need and want, because we think it's something that society is better, or something our parents said is better, or our friends said is better. And so hypnosis really is able to teach you to trust yourself, to trust that inner voice that you have that comes from love, and to act with more love. And the more you do that, and the more you find out what you want, the less stressed you will be about the future, the less anxiety you will have, and the less depression you will have as well. Because with hypnosis, when you also work on the trauma in the past, then you stop regretting things that you did or that you didn't do. And with the future, it's like, okay, I know what I want. I know I can get there, and I'm brave enough. Like you said, you're doing all the things now that you were not brave enough to do in the past. So this is how hypnosis really can help you get centered and get focused and become more and more focused on the present moment rather than the future or the past.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking while you were saying all of that too, I feel like I'm living proof, and I know not everybody that is going to watch this knows who I am or knows my entire story, but looking back to, myself pregnant, 6 months pregnant with my daughter, the place that I was at that point in my life, she just turned a year old. So it's basically been a year and a half since then. Like the person that I am now, like just the change is incredible. And yeah, it just speaks volumes for just what hypnosis is capable of, creating just that change in your life that is it's just so freeing, is the best word that I can use to describe it, but it's also just peace of mind. And that's not to say I have peace of mind every day. I'm a mom of 2.
I wish.
Yeah, that's not realistic. But definitely I'm able to come back to that centered place where I have more peace of mind when I focus on these practices that I have created for myself. So.
And I totally agree with that, because also I was a different person. I was a person that didn't listen to herself and that made very, very, very bad decisions. And now that I have all of the tools and personal development stuff and hypnosis, it has really helped me create a place also. I can thrive in the great moments, right? That's the easy part. But then when it comes to phases in our lives that are lower and where you just want to quit everything, and we just want to say, fuck off with everything. I just want to quit everything. I want to stop. Just leave me all alone. Then you have the trust in yourself, and you have the knowledge about yourself. Hey, this is just a phase. You're going to be okay. Things are going to be all right. Things are going to work out for you. Do what you need to do. Take care of yourself. Take care of your needs, and you'll make it through it.
Yeah. Okay, one final question for you. What would you say to someone who has never experienced hypnosis before?
I would just say, come with the intention to play and see it as something that is, that like you can play a game with your soul. Because we forgot to play. We don't play often anymore. Like, when did we last play, do something that we love? Go to the playground as adults, even draw something, or, just do the things that we did as a child. So I really want to encourage you to see it as a playful exploration of your mind. To see it as a playful exploration of your mind. Perfect timing.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids remind us to play.
That's just it. Exactly. Yeah. And just then you're able to like model all of that for them as well too, right? If you are a
Oh
parent
yeah.
or if yeah, if you have kids in your life or anybody who could benefit from it, it literally is, I mean, you have to experience it once and then you make your decision, right? Maybe it's not for everybody, but I know for sure that it's worth experiencing at least once to find out if it is the right fit for you.
Absolutely, and it will not be for everybody, but you will only know it once you try it. And I would say for most of the people, it will be beneficial.
100%. I agree with that. Yes.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much for joining this live and for also asking me questions. And we hope that we could inspire some people about hypnosis, whether it is that you want to try it with Christy or me, or whether it is that you want to join the spiritual hypnosis training. You can ask Christy any questions that you have about the training. You can message her and she will answer you as well. So just check it out. Come join us. We would love to have you in the group. We would love to welcome you, experiencing the joy and the playfulness and the goodness that hypnosis can give to everyone.
Yes, absolutely. Come follow me at Mama to H&B. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Christy. See you
Great.
tomorrow.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Bye.